Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. This is episode 225. Thank you. This is Maggie and I'm Corinne, and together we host the Shopcast for the Woolly Thistle. And the Woolly Thistle is an online yarn shop located in New Hampshire, focusing and championing yarns from the UK and Europe and some homegrown yarns too. And that's what we do here. Mm-hmm. And Maggie is our product development manager and so much more. And she hosts this with me every week. And I am Corinne and I own the Woolly Thistle. And yes, I've kind of bolted right in there. No, you didn't need to tell me to do that. Yeah. That's good. Yes.
It only took 200 episodes.
I know. And it'll be gone next time. So so let us get on with the show. We've got a few good things for you today. We've got something new. We've got an interview and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Yeah. Do we have any housekeeping that we want to mention? Just that, we see you Thistlers using your pips. So be on our pip plan, which is basically the Thistler Club, and you earn points, which are points in progress. So you earn pips every time you shop with us, and we see you cashing them in and getting money off your future order. And it's just really, like, a lot of people did that with the taster box, which thank you. They are all gone. That was really fun, wasn't it?
It was really fun. So thank you so much if you showed up for our spring taster box. I will say we have held out a few boxes. Right. In case there's lost or damaged, we want to be able to take care of all of our customers. So we've held out a couple. So if you missed it, but you're interested, you can sign up for the back in stock, or you can email us and we will.
Not promising anything.
But we will we'll give you a heads up when they're available, and we can make sure you're on our newsletter, because we will be telling our whole newsletter list too.
Yeah. So we do hold a couple back just for that reason. Okay. And any other housekeeping? I think free shipping on orders of $99 and up. And if you're not spending that much, you get shipping in the US for $4.95, which is a new and very much improved rate. And we hope that you're loving that. We love you for loving that. Today we have an interview for you with Kim Paquette, who is Indigoknits. She's a young designer, full of great promise, and really enjoyed our chat with her, didn't we?
I had emailed frequently with Kim. She's just absolutely fantastic. She's delightful to work with.
And she's fun to talk to, so you'll enjoy that. Yeah. And we're loving her design. She actually is launching a sweater design in our Rambler, and we'll get to show you that soon too. So very exciting stuff. We also have a new segment from a new guest.
Yes, one of our staff here in the shop, a shop assistant, Ruth, is joining us today with a segment showing TWT yarns crocheted. Ruth knits and crochets. And we think that there's just a really wonderful opportunity. So Ruth has a little podcast of her own. Yeah. And we invited her to
come and talk to you.
Yeah. So you're really going to like that.
And then we'll have Kim take us out with her knitting yoga. Every episode, we announce two winners at random for a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle. And would you like to announce the winner off the bat?
I would. The first winner today of a $25 gift card is at Kathleen R. 65.6549, and Kathleen says, "Love your Shopcast. I think I have a smile on my face the whole time I am watching." That is so sweet. Thank you so much, Kathleen. If you can email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps in the subject line, and we will get you your $25 gift card.
Hooray! And if you would like to be in the running for our next episode, all you need to do is leave a comment below, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. Help our channel grow. We just went over 18,000, I noticed.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. So yes, do that, and then you'll be in the running for a gift card next time. And congratulations to you that just won. We should mention that apart from this, we're not wearing anything woolly.
No, it was 90 degrees yesterday.
I think it was actually hotter than that. It was officially 90, but it felt
hotter. No wool happening. It's so warm that I'm actually warm in my office.
Yes.
Sitting still, you get a little chilly, and I've been fine.
I'm wearing the what is this called again?
It's the All About the Fringe.
All About the Fringe. Shawl, and it's sort of like a bandana length. It's really nice. I can see Andy outside.
Yeah.
Sorry, just got distracted. So this is designed and knitted for us here by
Carolyn Holbrook.
By Carolyn Holbrook. Sorry, Carolyn, just losing my mind. And this is a lovely sample knit up in Tuku Fingering, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
And it's really lovely. And even though it's warm, it's perfectly comfortable to wear. I had to put something on so that I had something woolly on. It's just a thing. So yes. Should we go to...
So we should say, so normally every episode we share our knitting, and we're recording this a little bit early because we're headed into Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And the shop is closed.
It's a little bit impromptu because I wasn't planned for this, so...
Yeah, and my knitting is not fast enough, so I don't have a donkey with overalls to show you.
Oh,
I know, I'm really sorry.
I just sounded like a donkey there.
So unfortunately we don't have a lot of knitting to show you, which I know is always a fun part of the segment. But there's still,
next time.
There's so much good stuff. So hang in there, and then we'll be back with our knitting and our chat.
Yes.
Next.
But we have so much good stuff for you that we decided that we would put in this episode for you.
And the good news is we are going to increase our episodes a little bit, at least for the foreseeable future. So in May, we'll hit the ground running with a brand new episode in a week. So 1 week out. I can't promise that we're going to give weekly episodes.
We can't, but we're going to try, because every time we meet people, and we were just at New Hampshire Shipping Mall, I wish it was weekly, which is such a nice compliment. And I think we do have enough to talk about. Like, I know we can talk.
Yeah. Yes, the talking is not the problem.
No, it's just fitting it all in.
Yeah, so fitting it all in. So we'll be back with some of our knitting next week.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can see other people's knitting, and it's really, really great.
And enjoy. So who are we going to first?
I think we should actually go to Ruth first.
Yay.
Ruth's projects are really, really great. She's got cardigans and vests, all crocheted.
She is one of us, right? She loves to knit. She loves to crochet. She loves woolly wool. She has sheep on her little farm in Vermont.
Yeah.
So, and she's been working here at the Woolly Thistle, and her husband works here in the winter time. And so we love having them, and really excited to have Ruth on the show. So with that, shall we let Ruth take it away? We'll see you on the other side.
Hello, folks. My name is Ruth, and I am one of the shop assistants at the Woolly Thistle, and I'm coming to you from my backyard today. It's a beautiful sunny spring day here in New England, and I just couldn't resist filming in my backyard. We just had a family of hummingbirds move in, so you might be seeing them buzz in and out. I am a knitter and as well as a crocheter, and I thought it'd be fun to come on and kind of share some of my crochet makes with you that I've made with yarns from the Woolly Thistle. And first up is what I have on, and I'm just going to stand up for a second to show you. This is called the Laurel Henley. And the designer is Courtney Clark from Tinderbox. Tinderbox is her business name. And she has a plethora of patterns out there to wow anybody. She has sweaters, she has dresses, she has tanks. This Laurel Henley caught my eye because I adored the button placket on the front, and it was somewhat of a design I have not made before. I did crochet this up in Jagger Spun, Mousam Falls sock yarn, which is available at the Woolly Thistle, and it comes in a lot of fun colors. This one is in the lemon colorway, and it's a top-down construction and a really fun make to have on your hook. Like I said, the Laurel Henley, I'll show you a picture of the sweater itself. This is actually Courtney Clark herself. She models all of her designs. And that is her logo, Tinderbox. So yeah, she's worth a check out online. She's on Ravelry, and also she has her own website. So yeah, it was a really nice, fun make. And Mousam Falls sock yarn is just so buttery soft and lovely next to the skin, and it really it wears well with everything: jeans, skirts, even over a dress. So I wanted to show you that off. I want to show you a make in progress that I'm doing right now. And I picked out a couple of colors of our Rambler yarn. So let me just show you. This is our Rambler. This is Marybelle's. And then this is Lichen. This is the Lake colorway. And this is Lupine. So I chose those 4 colors to make a beautiful shawl pattern, which as crocheters you might already have heard of. And it is called the Lost in Time shawl. And I have a picture of it here to show you. Oh, a partial picture. So it's a beautifully textured pattern which uses quite a few colors. And I decided to keep it somewhat simple for me in choosing those 4 colors of Rambler. But here is my make in progress. As you know, the shawl cow just came to an end not too long ago. And while mine isn't done, it's still quite stunning to behold, I think, in Rambler's colors. So close up you can see a lot of the texture going on. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, it's a wonderful yarn to work with. So I thought I'd share that with you, provide you with just a little bit of inspiration. Rambler comes in so many different colors, and it's so hard to choose from sometimes. But yeah, I love the choices. And yeah, start with 4 if you know that's your jam. And yeah. So this will block out to much bigger than it's right here. So yeah, that's the Lost in Time shawl, and that is by Mijo Crochet. So M-I-J-O Crochet, and that's on Instagram as well as Facebook. But this, like I said, this pattern's been around for quite some time. And it is a free pattern. Even better, right? All right. My next work in progress, when the Woolly Thistle decided that they were going to have a vest make-along, couldn't resist jumping in. So I chose a pattern from one of the journals, the Journal of Scottish Yarns and Yarn. This is issue number 3, which is available at the Woolly Thistle. And I chose to make the Machair tank top. Here's a picture of the Machair tank top. And this is such a versatile piece. You can use it as a vest, kind of make it shorter than what it's depicted here. Or you can do the full length and make a nice summer top out of it. So there's that. I think I might just keep mine as kind of a slip over vest. I kind of like that layered look. And I am making mine out of our Saona yarn, which is by WoolDreamers. It's a 50% merino yarn and 50% cotton from Spain. And it comes in 5 different colors. This colorway is the Sarah Chef colorway. And it's a lovely kind of oatmeal-y type color. So yeah, I'll show you my work in progress here. This is work top down. And you can see the lovely texture in it. We've got some nice deep armholes here, which makes for a very nice fit. The pattern calls for, I believe, 0 to 3 inches of negative ease, so a very snug fitting garment, but I like a fair amount of positive ease, so And since this is going to be kind of a slip over, something that I will wear over another shirt, t-shirt or what have you, I have gone for a bit of positive ease for the garment. This is the size 3 on the pattern, but I really like the neckline. The construction is really ingenious. So yeah, and like I said, the Saona comes in quite a few colors. I have crocheted with Saona before, and I have made a cardigan with the Notes colorway, which is this lovely off-white. This cardigan is called the Airy Fairy cardigan, and it is by Lilla Crochet. Just wanted to show you a little bit of lacy here. And I'll just show you a picture real quick here. This is the Airy Fairy cardigan. And maybe if I stand up and I can show you kind of how this looks. It's kind of a half to 3/4 length sleeves, but you can make the sleeves any length you like because it is a top-down construction. You can elect to put buttons on if you like. I just liked the kind of open cardi effect there. And then the sleeves have a nice little finishing on them. Very unique finishing. And you can run that all the way around the neck opening and the front if you like, as well as the bottom. I just chose a more simple, plain finishing for the neckline and the front. So yeah, some options with Saona. It's a beautiful yarn. Like I said, it's got that 50% cotton in it, so it lends itself well to items that you would wear during the warmer months of the year. So yeah, so it's been great talking to you. I hope you can find some inspiration in some of these items I've shown you. Happy knitting and happy crocheting, and until I see you next time, take care.
Well, thank you, Ruth. That was just a delightful, very nice segment from you. And thank you for being on the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. Don't you agree?
I think she's a wonderful addition. So welcome. Make Ruth feel welcome.
And you'll recognize some of these now because if you watched her segment, she was talking about crocheting with Saona by WoolDreamers, which looks fantastic.
Yeah. So
knitted or crocheted.
Yeah. So she's got a vest. So I think too, sometimes we do get emails saying, well, what yarns could I use for crochet? All of them. But it's great to see some examples.
Yes.
And so seeing Ruth's vest that's in progress and her finished cardigan and Saona were just really, really inspirational. And I would wear both. Like
feeling this yarn again is just so lovely.
It is. It's really, really nice.
This is a wool cotton blend, and I know that cotton can be troublesome for knitters because it doesn't have a lot of stretch, but with the wool in here you've got the stretch, and that never bothered me crocheting with cotton, so this is perfect for that. It's a fingering weight,
and I love that WoolDreamers sourced the cotton fairly local to them, which is fantastic.
Very thoughtful. And then also in here, Maggie, what do we have?
Then the cardigan, the yellow cardigan that Ruth was wearing, that she talked about a little bit, was made with Mousam Falls, Jagger Spun Mousam Falls, which is 100% superwash 4-ply merino. So durable, soft, long lasting, great for socks and garments.
And it's got drape as well, which is good for a garment or a cardigan or something. And you just brought some colors.
I just brought some of the colors that we have.
Look at this.
I know, it's just really, really fun.
Oh, it feels really soft too.
It does. And it actually smells pretty sheepy.
Yes, it does.
I know.
I love it. So yeah, so we've got a sampling here of all that. We've got some more more demure colors as well, not all brights.
Yeah.
But they're all lovely.
And I think by the time this lands, Mousam Falls might be newly topped up again. We do keep that one.
Yes, it does sell really well, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes.
I think too, Ruth didn't show it, but I think that the Jagger Spun heathers, I don't know why that was hard for me to say, would look great crocheted.
Uh-huh.
So I think there's another
And reasonably
opportunity
priced too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Great
sure.
stuff. Maggie, what cow starts today?
Our best cow.
Woohoo! So excited. First ever best cow.
I am really excited for our best cow.
Do you know what you're knitting?
On this day, I still don't know yet what I'm knitting.
neither.
But by the time you're seeing this, I should be casting something on.
Yes, actually I do know what I'm knitting.
Oh.
I do.
Okay.
I'm working on my own design.
Oh, I love it.
So if you're cowling along with us, you might get sneaky peeks of what it is. So
Great.
yes, very excited about that.
Can you tell us what yarn you'll be using?
Jamieson Smith 2-ply. Yeah,
Okay.
because I want those colors. I want
Yeah.
those colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple of contenders.
Yeah?
The Lavinia vest, which
Uh-huh.
is knit with WoolDreamers Moda.
Mm-hmm. You love that
I
Mocha.
really loved Moda.
Yeah.
And
And it's a worsted
the
weight.
FO to my daughter. It's like a heavy DK. Like I think they list it as a DK, but it's a pretty heavy DK.
Okay.
But the other one is I'm actually thinking of doing a seaweed slip over using my cone of 81, my cherished cone of 81
as the main color.
base color. So it's just a matter of between recording this and cast on date, I get myself together enough to do some swatching to make sure I have the
Would
colors
you
just
do
right.
the colors? Would you use colorful colors, or would you just keep it all in naturals? Because 81 is a dark kind of charcoal black.
So I would probably do the 81, and then I picture brighter
colors.
Color. So maybe a white, and then.
Well, not that you asked, but I think that sounds really good.
I do think it sounds really good. I would just like to play with some color swatching before I cast on.
Yeah.
Because I know me and I'll get stuck.
Maybe you can knit the Lavinia first while you're, working out
I
the
could.
other.
I do think Lavinia would be.
There's something
vest.
really, really good about vests, and it's not having sleeves. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you're knitting a garment, but it's like 2/3 of a garment, really.
Yeah. I was doing some stash management recently,
Oh.
and it occurred to me I have a number of quantities that are maybe like left over from projects.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could be a vest.
Exactly.
So now I'm looking at my stash and I'm like, you're a vest, and you're a vest, and you're a vest.
Well, vests are very, very wearable. I love mine because I can wear them under a more tight-fitting jacket or a form-fitting jacket, and your arms are, not all, bunched into sleeves and things. So they're wonderful.
I think at least here in New England, we've got, spring and fall where
That's a great
it's a nice
shoulder
in-between
season.
garment.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
So happy cast on day.
Happy cast on. Please be joining us. Just sign up. I think sign-ups will still be open for a little while. So you can join us a little bit late if you need to. And you can knit from stash. We just ask that most of it be with Woolly Thistle, yarn that you have stashed. Or we have a lovely selection of kits for you in the shop. And I'm sure down below there'll be a lovely link with that. Yeah, very excited. This is our first ever vest cal, and everyone's excited, I think. So thank you if you're knitting along with us and already have your plans in a row. That's wonderful.
Great.
See you there.
Yes,
we'll be in Ravelry and
absolutely.
Facebook and all the usual things.
Yes. Our Marie Wallen restock arrived. If you were waiting for Marie Wallen's Erin collection, you would have seen this if you were on our email list.
Yes.
But the restock has arrived. So
And it's a nice big order, so you should be able to get what you need. It's not going to sell out in a minute. So but don't that said, don't languish.
yeah,
but
that said, by the time you're seeing this, it's been in the shop for a little while.
Yeah.
So now you might want to scurry. So, but the
You're
collection,
such a good way with words, Maggie.
the collection is gorgeous. Very,
It truly
very
is
tempting.
very knittable stuff. Yes,
Knittable and wearable.
Yeah, and faster. You're still knitting Marie Wallen, but you're in a lovely worsted weight. It's called Aran, but here in the States it's a worsted weight.
Yeah. So here in the shop we've been calling it Rambler Week. Rambler is our house yarn. It is our first house yarn.
Yeah.
You and I have both been knitting lots with it.
Oh my gosh.
And
the more I knit and wear this.
I know. I just really love it. This week we have 2 new kits and new designs for Rambler launching, and it is really, really exciting. We're really excited about it. So
Worthy
the
of
first
Rambler
one,
Week.
hopefully you're on our email list. The first one launched on Tuesday, And it is kits for the Main Island Socks by Mary O'Shea.
Yes.
We can put some socks here on the screen.
Just pause it and look at these.
They're amazing. When Mary first sent me these photos, I probably gasped.
You ran around the shop showing everybody.
I really did. I was like, oh my goodness. They're
so
just
good.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
And they look completely addictive. So we're really excited to add these.
Thank you, Mary.
To any patterns designed at Rambler. It's just really, really gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
So Mary has designed the socks, and all the colorways are Mary's colorways. So I've put together kits. The kits will come with a stitch marker, and they come with our small tote, which you can see behind Corinne.
All knitting is good knitting.
All knitting is good knitting.
Ain't that the truth?
It is. This one is called the Rugosa Rose.
Oh, lovely.
Colorway. It's really pretty. So each sock pattern uses 4 colors of Rambler. And according to Mary, you can knit 4 pairs of socks with each kit, moving the colors around. And it probably does depend what size socks you're knitting, but I think it's easy enough to shift the colors.
If you want to knit for your family or your friends for the holidays, that kind of stuff, this would be a good way to go.
Yeah, they're
because they'll be fraternal. They'll be similar, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, and you can see that in Mary's photos. They're just really, really great. Yeah. I'm sure she has more photos. If you want to look at them slowly, go to Ravelry. This is the Canada Thistle colorway.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I just love it.
I love it.
I love them all.
Lovely. Oh yes.
It's hard to pick a favorite. Sea Spray.
Refreshing. I like this one too.
And then this one, Spruce Woods.
Love it. Love it.
You've been in a very yellow mood lately, haven't you?
Yes. I just finished a pair of Maribel color socks. Yeah. And now I'm knitting a pair of socks. Oh, it's not here. But in the cinnamon, the new cinnamon
fern.
Yeah, the cinnamon fern, which is just lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I can't stop knitting Rambler socks right now. It's my jam. So, and here's some of the other colors, though not all of them. So yeah. It's a wonderful thing. So we have those in the shop today?
Yeah, so those are in the shop. They went live on Tuesday, so they should still be available. We have plenty of stock of Rambler right now. So go grab your kit, get your pattern from Mary, and off you go. Yeah. Socks for everyone. So the other big thing that is launching today is...
In Rambler.
In Rambler is the Recursion sweater designed by Kim Paquette.
Yes. And wow, what a sweater. She talks about this in along with some of her other sweater designs in our interview that we're going to. But I just love the way this sweater has turned out is really amazing. And she puts an awful lot of thought into what all this is going on and repeating into itself and so on. So yeah, just a lovely sweater. So we hope you love it and that we do have kits available.
Yeah, so kits are in the shop. They're available in the shop now, and we have them in a couple of different colorways. We of course put together Kim's colorway, which uses the natural as the main color and golden fern in the color work. Yeah. We also put together, I'm trying to remember what the colorways were. I should have written these down. I thought it'd be nice for some of us who tend to not wear the lighter colors as a base. So we have one with Lake as the base and one with the natural.
Really nice.
And then I know there's at least one other color in the shop. So if you pop over to the shop, you can see the colorways that are available. If none of the colorways appeal to you, you can always go and put your own colorways together just by shopping Rambler. Yeah,
just
or send us an email if you want some help.
Yes. So,
but yeah, I'm so excited that Kim designed a sweater with Rambler.
I know. It's our first garment in Rambler yarn. So if you happen to be a designer out there and you would be interested in designing with Rambler, we would love to hear from you. Absolutely. And so socks from Mary Shea and a sweater from Kim. Yep. Is it time to go visit with Kim?
It is time to go. You're going to love Kim. We love Kim. So go enjoy the interview.
Great chat.
And then come back after the interview.
Yes, because we still have yoga and we still have to announce another winner.
Yes. Hello, thank you for joining us. And we are here with Kim Paquette, also known as at Indigoknits. Kim is a designer. And Corinne and we're all going to sit down and chat today about your latest sweater design, which was knit with Rambler. Kim, for our audience, can you tell us a little bit about yourself for people new to you and your work?
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one. No, just kidding. I am a chronic joker. I really can't stop. I am a grad student full-time, and I'm studying to be a physician assistant. So in the medical field, and in my spare time, I really love to knit and I love to design. I love to draw. I'm really interested in fine art. And so I bring a lot of that perspective into my designs. And I really think the medical perspective also gives me a perspective of really wanting to do things the best that I can, because in medicine, it's all about figuring out the most effective and the way to get the best results. And people do so pour money into it because lives are on the line. But I feel the same desire to do things right when I approach any problem. And so that's why I really enjoy designing myself, because I make things the way that I like them.
Yeah. And how long have you been designing?
It's a good question. I guess it must have been I don't know, a year and a half or a little over, maybe
Have you
longer.
been knitting a long time, or are you new to knitting as well?
I've been knitting a while. I learned, as many of us did as a kid. I had a wonderful grandma, and I say had, but she's very much alive. She's alive and well. I love you, Grandma, Nana. She's not on YouTube or Instagram. She taught me when I was a kid. And so I spent many years occasionally doing a nice little garter scarf. I didn't know you could actually do anything other than the garter scarf. And when I realized that, then all bets were off. And it was actually mid-pandemic when I was dabbling in a lot of different crafting arts. And it wasn't because I had more spare time, because I was actually working as a nurse. It was because I had my first ever disposable income since I was out of college. So I was figuring out, what can I spend money on now? And I got into sewing garments first, but then I wanted to make garments. And so after sewing and making a huge mess of my apartment many times, and it was so sweaty and hot, I switched to knitting, because you can be sweaty and hot with knitting, but it's really not as sweaty and hot. I really feel that way. All my life, I've been trying to avoid being sweaty, and that's why I don't really exercise as much as I should too.
I can relate.
So I'm curious, what made you decide, as you sort of delved into knitting, what made you take that extra leap into wanting to design your own garments?
I think for me, it was because I really had such a strong feeling of what I wanted to make. So I realized I was putting so much work into sort of combing through project pages and patterns, and I was putting such specific search terms in that I realized I was kind of trying to find something that I was coming up with in my head that was designed in my head, and trying to come up with something that had been written. And I thought that it might be fun to try to make my own versions of things. If I had such a strong idea in my head, then I could probably come up with something that I could make. And I think it was also the idea that nothing is that hard in the world if you're willing to put in time and learn about it. And I think that for a long time, coming up with my own ideas and designs for knitting is something I thought that was like, that's those really talented people that are doing. Those people have they're really smart and really skilled, and they know how to do math. I can't do that. And then I thought about it, and I realized that I don't want to just limit myself from doing something because it seems hard. And a lot of people do that with knitting, where they avoid certain techniques because they have the idea that it'll be really hard. And I've had that about a lot of techniques. And every single time I'm kind of like, oh, that's it. You can always learn something and put your mind to it. So that's something that really inspires me and makes me want to just challenge myself, you know?
And you've gone straight into sweater designing, not a lot of hats or anything first. You just started doing your sweaters.
I really wanted to knit what I wanted to knit. It's like I said before, I had this in my head and I said, that's what I want. And I refuse to do anything else. It's sort of like, I'm kind of, as you could imagine, I'm very stubborn. So I'm very pig-headed sometimes because I know what I want. And God, working with me on a group project is probably the worst fate for a human being because I know what I want. That's why I'm like a Mr. Incredible, where I say I work alone.
That's funny.
So I can see you're wearing your Helix. Was that the first sweater that you designed?
It is I sort of think of it as, even though it's not the first one I designed, because I did make a cable knit sweater design really early on, but I felt like that first design was dipping my toe into the designing pool, and it got me used to the idea of it. And so this is a sweater that I felt like it was it's not that I'm not proud of the first one, but this one I really felt like it was something that I really, really, really wanted to knit. And I made something that I was super proud. I'm so proud of it because it really is just exactly what I wanted to knit. And I knit like 3 or 4 of them because they're so wearable too. You can wear them all the time.
Yeah.
And I love that yarn. I really love Rama Finnell.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons we love you is you're designing and knitting with yarns that we love too. And I'm just wondering what it is about the yarns that you're knitting with that you really love. When there's so much other choice out there, what is it about Rama or JNS that you really love to knit with?
Well, that's a very good question. And I actually think about that all the time. And there's sort of two factors would be number one, I really don't want my sweaters to pill, and any flaw in a garment that I have, like a small stain or a smudge, or I get very obsessive about it, which is something that I am trying to work on because I don't want to feel that I don't do this for sweaters, but I don't want to feel like a garment is dead to me if I nick it with I don't know, with a knife when I'm cutting vegetables. Like I don't want to be that way. So I am trying to embrace things being weathered as adding character. And that's what I really like about woolly wools is that they get better with age.
Yeah.
And that's something that's important to me. I don't want to make, I made a few sweaters early on. They have the yarn worsted by Malabrigo, and it's a great yarn for a hat. But when I was first starting out, I made a really beautiful cable knit sweater out of it because I didn't know that you had to be very, very particular when you're selecting the fiber for what you're using it for. And on the same note, I made a pair of socks out of a single ply merino because this one yarn store I went to didn't even say anything. I said, "Oh, will this make a pair of socks? It's a 100-gram ball." She says, "Yep, they will. That's enough." And obviously those are the most, awful. And so then after that happened to me, I said, so I made this beautiful sweater in worsted, which is a single ply, soft yarn. And I wore it for like 1 day. And by the end of the day, it was ruined. And that first 2 hours, it was the best sweater I ever had. I will never suffer like this. So I did a lot of research. How do I get yarn that won't do this to me? I felt attacked.
All of us have been through that sort of experience one way or another and we just maybe accept that this thing is going to pill, or I'm going to always be having to depill under the arms and stuff. But I think it's really great that you realized that, doing a little research would bring you to woolly wools that are more hard wearing and soften with time.
Right. Exactly. So looking for the right yarn for the right project.
Yeah.
Right. And then that translated into me always using woolly wools because I thought, when would I ever want my project to wear more? And I don't need soft. So the thing is, I actually have a lot of sensory sensitivities, but weirdly, it goes in the direction of I like stuff that feels more tactile because it grounds me more. So I have a lot of sensitivity to light and sound, and having a garment that's a little bit toothier, I wouldn't even say scratchy. It just makes me feel grounded and like part of the earth. And I love to knit with them because I don't when yarn is really slick. Right. I like when it feels like it's kind of like clinging to itself. Yeah. Like I've been knitting with that really, really nice yarn. And I can't remember that. I blank on names. Imagine me trying to remember a person's name. It's like, it's almost impossible. Oh my God.
It's funny though, because I can relate to that. I often really enjoy knitting the different textures and the feel you get in your hand.
Yeah. Yes. It's a tactile experience. And this is the Tuku wool I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Is so when you knit with Tuku wool, it's like it feels like you're almost like it's hugging itself. It feels so nice. It just feels so relaxing.
It's a little bit grippy, but in the best way.
And it is smooth at the same time too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's grippy and it's not scratchy. It's not it doesn't even feel oily at all, or it doesn't feel it just feels really nice.
Yeah. So tell us about some of your other designs.
Ooh, good question. So this one is, well, if we say other, would we say, we're saying other, and we were talking about this one.
Yeah.
But I guess if we could also be saying other, because we're going to be talking about recursion. So first I'll say this one is Helix raglan. And I can at least remember the names of my own patterns. Even if not my, if not, yarns that I've knit thousands and thousands of yards of. But this is it has a very simple cable detail here. And it was, I like it because it's a lot of nice popcorn knitting where you can knit it while you're eating popcorn and while you're watching TV. You can triple multitask. Whereas, so I like that about it because I want to do a lot of stockinette. I like to knit while I read and while I study and while I'm doing everything. So it's nice to have something mindless, but also something with a little bit of splash of interest. Because I don't want to only knit the same thing over and over. As much as I do want that, I feel that
Yeah, it looks really good. And then we have kits for this too.
We do have kits for that, and we also have kits for the. So we have kits for the Helix, and we have kits for the your halftone pullover.
Oh, halftone! I forgot to bring that in this room. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And that one is also a raglan sweater. As you can tell, I like myself a raglan.
Yeah.
That is a raglan sweater, and it has a very simple color work motif. And I think the nice thing about it is that it is really great for a first time color work because most color work sweaters, to generalize, they are the most common type of color work sweater, in my opinion, would be the yoke, color work yoke. And for a new to color work knitter, they are sometimes intimidated by all the increases and having to increase while they're doing the color work. And they see the chart and they say, that chart is, what is that? It's a pizza slice. They think, wait, what is that? What's the black space mean? I've had people say, what is going on? That does not look right. This looks crazy. And so I thought it would be fun to try doing this transition of color because I thought it would be interesting to have a sweater that doesn't really even have a main color or a contrast color. It has two. Yeah. And I thought, how do I transition the colors? So I wanted to go from one color to another. And I kind of played around with different ideas for that. And I settled on this interesting technique that is used in printing, right? It's used a lot in old-fashioned or cheap comic book printing because they would layer different colors and then the gradients of color, instead of inking a bunch of midpoint colors, they would just do this dot pattern that would show from far away like it was fading away. And I am very interested by the optical illusion aspect of design, where trying to create the impression of a third thing. So you're putting two things, which would be you're putting yarn in and you're putting color in, I guess. It's a sweater and it's colors, two colors. And trying to create the optical illusion of a 3D space, I guess. Or trying to create the illusion of something that's not really there. And in this case, I wanted it to look like from far away, it looked like a smooth transition. And I did a few different I did a few different tries before I got one that worked well. And I learned that you really need to swatch out the color work if you're designing, because otherwise you're going to waste your time. And so I like how it came out because I think there's so much room for creativity. People really enjoy experimenting with such wild and fun colors because I think it brings out the side of people that want to play and want to do something unusual. And I really love that. I feel like it's something that people are always telling me that, oh, someone commented on it or I wear it and I feel so happy. And I think it's because it's a little unusual and it makes me smile to think that it's bringing that to people.
Yeah, it's done really well in the shop, hasn't it? Yeah.
I think that this is a nice transition to your new design, which is launching in the shop here on May 31st, because you've moved from color work in the body to that yoke.
And I was a little intimidated even to design the yoke because I wanted to, sometimes when you're drawing out a yoke in a wedge and then you imagine it reflected and it doesn't always translate to looking good in a wedge to looking good in a projection. And I wanted to try something that would, the idea for this sweater was that I wanted to imitate I wanted it to look continuous all around. I wanted to do it, I want it to look like it was one design, but I didn't want to have a really huge long chart. Have you ever seen that design? I think it's Midori Hirose, and it's those flowers that are kind of scribbled looking. I really wanted to make something that looked like someone had scribbled on it. And that was that was another one where when I was looking for patterns to knit, I was thinking sweater that looks like writing or scribbling. And that's the only one out there, and it looks beautiful, but I wanted something that looked more abstract. And that's how this sweater idea was born. So should I bring it out and take a look?
Yeah, definitely.
And your yarn, Rambler, is a really, really nice yarn. And that's what I made this one.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is really stunning.
It's so good. It looks lovely. Well
I
done.
really love this design. I think it's kind of like I feel like it's my baby, because when I wear it, what I really like about it is that when I'm washing my hands in the bathroom, I don't get so bored as usual because I have something to look at and I'm watching the lines. I'm watching the lines and tracing them with my eyes. And when I was wearing this in my lectures at school, someone was like, wow, I've been just staring at that sweater the whole lecture. It's almost like a fidget toy for your eyes to wear. And what I really love, the idea for this sweater was another idea of sort of an optical illusion I wanted to make. And the idea was, how can I make a sweater that looks like there are 3 colors instead of 2? And my idea was, there's the main line, right? And then you see these fainter looking lines in the background that are actually made out of a checkered version. So you only use 2 colors, but it creates the illusion of 3. And I thought that was really, really cool. And you can actually use 3 colors. Some of my testers did. But I don't recommend it because there's long floats. They said I would never do that again, even though the FO is incredible, but I would never do that again.
It's funny that you mentioned that you were aiming for that kind of look, because I remember showing one of my coworkers the photo when you first sent it, and they're like, "Oh, is that 3 color?" And we actually had to, like that. I'm like, "No, I
Yay!
2 colors."
That's awesome.
That was their initial reactions. They really thought it was 3 colors.
That is exactly what I want to do. I really want to do that because I also think that working with 3 colors is so annoying. I don't want to work with 3 colors. So I want to try to, it's sort of like how a lot of art and a lot of new techniques they are born of desire to skip or to save money or to save effort, or inventions are made when we are like, I don't like how this is going, so let's make it easier. And then that can actually birth things that are really, really cool and unique and interesting. So that's what I want to try to do, is to be inspired by those things. Like, how can I get around something and make a new path that's really interesting?
So tell us what gauge your recursion sweater's knitted at.
Oh, good question. Let me,
If you
pull it
know,
up.
if you remember.
I think it's 26, but I'm gonna have to check. I just sent that out though, so I have it right on hand. Okay, it is 25 stitches and 33 rows per 4-inch. And this Rambler is a really nice fit for the design because it has that tooth to it.
Yeah.
It has that bite to it, but it's also really, it blocks out and it knits really smoothly.
Oh, good.
And the colors work well together.
They do.
Because there are all these, pretty much all the colors of Rambler, many of them would pair well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is,
It's so lovely. There's
really
so much
beautiful.
movement in it because of the way you've done the color work.
Isn't it so fun? I feel so happy looking at it. I really love it. And it kind of reminds me of, back in the day, MS Paint, that paint program that was all on all the computers. And I learned to draw digitally on that program, and I would be scribbling and it really reminds me of, because it looks a little pixelated. It reminds me of that.
Yeah.
And so the cover art of the design, it's sort of 90s inspired by 90s computer type illustrations.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
So this is the first sweater design in Rambler, which I find really exciting.
Super
Like
exciting.
we've been talking about it, that it's not just for socks, and we've seen shawls in it, and I have seen some members in our community knit sweaters with it, and that's really great. But this is the first design where Rambler was used as the primary yarn, and that is amazing.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I didn't even know that it was that. I feel so honored that I'm the first. I really love this yarn. I'm surprised that people aren't all making sweaters out of it, because look at the beauty of look how beautiful
I know.
it looks, so even and smooth. The
It's
stitch,
lovely.
it's just completely beautiful. I mean, and it drapes really well. It wears really well.
Yes, it does.
I really like it. I really like it. I would make more sweaters out of it, and I hope to.
Yeah.
I actually I will be making more sweaters out of it. And
So this launches on May 31st.
Oh, coming right up.
And I believe that this is the hopefully this interview you're watching it on the Shopcast, which is going live on May 31st.
Yes.
So the sweater pattern and the kits should be available in the shop.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get the pattern from Kim and the kits from us.
Yes.
And we're really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
Since you've been wearing the sweater, I've seen photos of you wearing the sweater. How does it feel when you're wearing it?
I love it. It feels really cozy. It's sort of, I really like a little bit of positive ease. I don't like things to constrict me. So I kind of aim for a bit of a sweatshirt fit.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much something you throw on, and you don't really, it's not hindering your life. You're going about things, but it has this really chic sort of strangeness that's still, I don't know, to me it looks very, there's something about it that's very cool, and I think it kind of dresses up an outfit while being really comfortable. You could probably wear it like a sweatshirt, or you could wear it to work, which I have.
Yeah, and it's just so unique. I mean, I think it's a
Mhm.
showstopper, really.
It is.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
You know, I think that it's really, it feels really cool when you make something that you're really proud of, and I feel like I just really love how it came out, because it's something that I had been playing with the idea of wanting to do something like this for so long, and I didn't even know if it could be possible to make something that would look like it was continuous. So having it come out and be so proud of it, and it just makes me feel really happy, and my testers are really enjoying it. And you know what really I like a lot about this design is that it makes people feel really empowered, because I keep hearing again and again, I never thought I could make something like this. It looks so complex, and I feel so proud of myself. And that's something that I really, really, really want to be able to help do, is to help people along the journey of realizing that you can do anything you want, and it's not actually that hard. Anything is not that hard. It's just that having the boldness and the right guides and the right approach, and I think a lot of it is just like having the courage to try it, and overcome that first hump of fear and like, oh no.
Right, and trust the process as well. You know, patterns are really well written, and there's just so much help these days that, you know, if you want to do it, you can, for sure.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And sometimes I've had many times where I'm starting something and I'm like, this is going terribly. But I'm completely pig-headed and stubborn, like I said, and I just will not stop until I figure it out. And I'll spend hours miserable and trying to fix it and things out. And I just will not stop until I've gotten that fixed, because I also know that if I stop, then I'm never going to come back to it. So I just push through the periods of feeling uncomfortable, because when you feel uncomfortable, that's when you're going to grow.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. And that never ends. That's for a lifelong.
That's very true.
Yeah. I love it. Do you have any upcoming designs that you want to share with us?
Ooh, well, I do actually I have quite a few in the pipeline. I like to call it a pipeline because I have sort of this like, it's sort of like, if you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know how when they do the Avatar state and there's all the avatars kind of going back into the past, and it's like trailing behind. And so that's how I feel about all my projects. I sort of imagine them all lined up like and that's the present to the past to the future. So right now I just finished a sample that I need to write up the pattern for, which I'm really excited about because this is another one that I wanted to see if it was possible. And my idea was to do a raglan with a background of just checked, like, just a checkered background. And then that would allow me to do a canvas in the middle of color work without using intarsia. So I did this one.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
And then the coolest part that I think is really cool is that on the back, I have the same exact motif, but it's reversed both in color and it's also mirror image. So it actually looks like you're looking through it. And I didn't realize this, but everybody keeps asking me if it's double knit when I send them a photo of the front and the back, because of course it looks exactly like it were double knit, but it's not. And it looks like someone's looking through you when you wear it. And this one is a really nice fit. I'm really excited to get that one. I need to write it up. I'm putting it off a little because I'm so busy. But once I write,
what is the motif? Tell us about that.
That is just some squiggly squigs.
Yeah.
It's sort of inspired by 90s art. Those beautiful 90s like arcade floors, the arcade, and I think I'm going to call it sandbox because it's sort of it's like a type of a video game where, a sandbox type of video game. And plus I feel like this little box sort of feels like, you could do anything with that. It's kind of cool because people really could actually draw their own design with that size and just put their own stuff on it, which I think would be cool.
That would be really fun.
What did you knit it in? It looks lovely.
Oh, this is in Retrosaria Mondim.
Oh, wow.
I love that yarn. I know you guys have that one.
Mm-hmm.
She is really cool.
Really woolly and fluffy though, doesn't it?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, and I really like this color because what I did for this design, I did the marled yarn plus the white. And I was worried at first it wouldn't stand out enough, but it really does. And then it looks so natural to have the white color work because the white is all echoed in.
Yeah.
And it makes such a nice, dense, squishy fabric. I was very impressed.
It really does.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. So keep an eye out if you want to check out if you want to follow my Instagram, I'll be putting some kind of test call up for this as soon as I've written out the pattern and gotten it tech edited and all that jazz.
Yep.
But it's coming. I just have a lot of exams all the time. And I don't always have time to do them, but eventually it will happen. And then if you want to see any works in progress, I have a couple that I'm working on too. I have my Tuku wool project.
Yeah, I've been seeing you've been showing your Tuku wool one on Instagram.
Yeah. So this is my project bag containing my item. And I'm on the sleeve now. Finally, I finished the body. And this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful sweater.
Oh, wow. More squiggles?
It's actually sort of, yeah, it is squiggles. It's kind of, my inspiration for it is, it's sort of like a maze.
Yeah, it is. That's amazing. It's amazing.
What was it?
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And the cool thing is it's actually way shorter a repeat than you would think. If you look at the top, ding, 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 it's actually the same, a little bit smaller or around the same size of a repeat as recursion. And it looks, I like these ones because it looks so intimidating. Like, oh my God, that must be all memorized. You have to, I bet it's all unique, but it's not. It's just a repeat that's done to disguise the repeat.
That's
and
amazing.
I used to draw all these really intricate little mazes when I was a kid. I would get a little printer paper and a tiny little ballpoint, and I would make a maze, and it looked like completely, it looked concerning. Like, what is this kid needs to go outside? This kid needs to have a hobby because this is weird. And no one ever did the mazes though. It wasn't like anyone was finishing them. I just made them and then I just had them. And I thought it would be cool to do that in a sweater.
It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one you could watch while you're using while you're washing your hands.
Yeah,
and it entertain you.
It's beautiful.
And this is in Tuku wool, best, squishiest, beautiful fingering. I love that yarn.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So that's what's coming up next. I have to finish the sleeves and then the sky's the limit.
Well, we'll be sure to put all your contact information up so that people can find you on Instagram and all the places that you are. I think you're doing some amazing work, really different, really unique, and just very thrilled to have your design in Rambler. That's very exciting for us. And, we hope that people will love it and be knitting it in all the different colors. And yeah.
Thank you. It means a lot to me that you say that. Thank you.
you're
I
welcome.
can't wait to see all it's been so, I think that every single time I do a test, and I love seeing all the different creative spins people put on it. And that continues as I see people's projects come up too. And this one has been, I've been like completely blown away by each one. They are just so unique and fun. And I think that you can also tell if someone really likes their finished object by like how excited they look in the photos. And I feel like these photos, people are like, you know, they look so happy. It makes me so happy to see.
That's the best. That's the best.
That's so great.
It makes me happy to be a little bit of a part of that, and to just be like, I feel like it's sort of like getting to hold someone's hand a little bit, or just be like, walk with them, right? On a journey.
Yeah.
Like anything, there's a journey, and like it's a privilege to be able to walk beside people on that. So I'm very honored that people are knitting my stuff.
That's wonderful.
That is. We are just about out of time. But I can see you have a woolly thistle bag behind you.
Oh, I do.
Yes.
and I'm wondering if you can share with us what's in that bag.
Oh, so the funny thing is about these bags, you would think there's some kind of knitting related item in there, but actually those are my my snack bags. The reason they're hanging out, they're hanging from the wall, the hangers, and the reason for that is sort of like how when you're in the woods, you have to put your food in bags and you have to hang them from the trees so that the bears won't sniff them out and eat them. And so if I don't put snacks like in that position, then my cat will find. Well, the other day he found a granola bar, and my husband was chasing him around the house with the granola bar in his teeth as he's just putting this guy through the ringer, because and then at the end he had pierced through and put a little hole in the bar. So my husband like ate around it. I was like, I don't think the cat is gonna give you a disease if you eat that, but that's why. And then also my husband makes me hide the snacks in my room because he's like worried he's gonna eat them all. He's like, don't put those where I can see them because I'll just eat the whole thing.
Not likely to look in a yarn bag, so that's a good.
Exactly. That's my domain.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you for taking time and joining us today. This has been wonderful. You've been delightful. It's
Absolutely.
been a pleasure chatting with you. And I cannot wait to see all the recursion projects out there.
Me too. I can't wait to. They're really great. They're looking, all the testers they're just, yeah, I feel very lucky, and I'm excited too. And thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so honored. I really love you guys. Your yarns are
well, we're big
wonderful.
fans of what you're doing, and we've really enjoyed working with you through the process of your design. So keep them coming.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You guys have supported me since like day one, and it's a real honor. It's a real honor to be believed in.
Oh,
well, you're a delight.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that our viewers will love this interview.
Yes, they'll enjoy it. There'll be lots of nice comments.
Yes. Yeah. So be sure to read the comments because they're always amazing.
Yeah.
So,
it was very nice chatting with you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that excellent chat with Kim. We think she's an up-and-coming design star, and we wish her lots of luck with the launch of her sweater.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, if you don't follow Kim on Instagram, you should. She's delightful to follow.
Yeah.
This is one busy woman.
Yes, yes.
Between school that she's going to, full-time designing, and the art that she does, she is just delightful.
Yes, we feel very lucky to know her and have her knitting and designing with yarns that we have here at the Woolly Thistle. So we hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And
she did talk too about her Helix and her halftone. We also have kits in the shop for those in case you're interested in those too.
Yeah. So what's next, Maggie?
I think we should do our next winner.
Okay.
And then go to yoga.
All right, let's do that then.
Okay. Our second winner today of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is A. Eastman 59. A. Eastman says, do you think there may be a DK weight Rambler in the future for those that knit socks and DK? Those stuffed animals are so cute. Thank you. And thank you for supporting all these businesses that have good ethics and are trying to save breeds. You are wonderful to do that and then enable us to have access to these special yarns.
Oh, well, first of all, I just want to say I recognize A. Eastman from ye old days. I mean, she's been around a long time. So hello and thank you. I hope you're watching this to see you're a winner.
In answer to your question, we had not really considered doing a DK weight yarn, but your feedback is always, we appreciate the feedback. It really does help us so much. If you don't want to wait for us, in case it may or may not happen, you could always hold the fingering weight double. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like doing that.
Yeah.
I've had great success with that recently with my WYS socks.
Yes.
So
yes, and I like the idea of marling two different colors together as well.
I've really been enjoying the marled yarns lately, despite the fact that I don't really have them on my needles.
Right.
But that would be an easy way to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yes, no, we do take all comments and suggestions and ideas because you're our customers. So if it's something that you're thinking about, we love to know that, and we definitely consider everything, and then timing and all that kind of stuff as well. But
so if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your gift card.
Yes, congratulations. And if you would like to be in the running for a prize, all you need to do is leave us a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. Do you know we have 18,000? I know I said that before. But it's just so oh my God, that's crazy. Wouldn't it be great if we got to 20,000?
It would be.
Yeah.
And you could help us get there.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, share it on Instagram.
Yeah, really, all of that makes a huge difference. Yes. But anyway, we pick winners at random. You win a $25 gift card so long as you leave us a comment, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much.
Whew.
It is warm.
It is. All right. I think that we are ready to go do some yoga.
Let's go do some yoga. Maybe hot yoga today. I'm not sure. But yes, thank you for being here. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
Next week, which what a treat for us too. So yes, we'll see you next week. And I think all that's left to say is if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye.
Hi there, this is Kim with Yoga for Knitters, back for another installment of Yoga for Knitters. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon, where I offer extra content for my patrons as a way of saying thank you for your support. Today's class is all about the shoulders, and you're going to need a strap. We will go through a series of exercises, stretches, that are going to open the shoulders and make it so much easier to knit. It's going to take all that tension away from the front of your shoulders, the front of your chest, and some of your neck, so that knitting becomes a pleasure again. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to your shoulder strap class. For this class, you will need a yoga strap, but you don't have to run out and buy a yoga strap. You could use a belt, you could use the belt from your house coat, you could use a bath towel. Just anything that can give you this amount of connection between your hands. This class is all about the shoulders. I want you to go slow, and if anything hurts, don't do it. Back off. No pain, no pain. We never want pain in yoga. So the purpose of this class is to unlock our shoulders so that everything else in life feels a little bit easier. To begin with, plant your feet directly below your hip bones and find mountain pose, which means that all four corners of your feet are equally grounded on the floor or mat. And then you're going to grab hold of your strap and just take your hands as far apart as they can go. We're just going to open as we breathe up. Take the arms back behind you as far as they'll go, and then exhale and breathe them down again, relaxing the neck as you exhale. Inhale up and exhale down. It's just the very topmost part of that inhalation where you're going to feel the stretch and the opening. But the whole breath is important because this is a holistic practice. And you'll notice too that as you inhale and bring the arms up overhead and possibly behind you, that each time you'll be able to get a little deeper, a little further back behind you. It's a wonderful feeling. Try closing your eyes and just feel what's going on in your shoulders. We're exploring a range of motion that we're capable of, but we generally don't tap into in our everyday computer lives. And so it's really nice to remember that our bodies can move this way. They like to move this way. And when they move this way, we secrete synovial fluid into parts of that joint that would normally be a bit starved. If you don't use it, you lose it. So here we are making sure that we are becoming lubricated with synovial fluid and that our shoulder joint is getting lots of love and attention. Good job. Okay, this will be the last one. So when I started, I could get to about here. Now I can get all the way around. It's amazing what a little practice can do. All right, for the next one, you're going to inhale the arms up. We're still taking them fairly wide. We're going to step one foot over to the side. This is my right foot, but if I'm mirroring you, then I'd say this is my left foot. Over to the right, and then reach over to the right. Okay, there's a little bit of abs in that, but of course, everything is abs all the time. We'll take the right foot over to the left and stretch. Drawing that bottom arm down as far as you can to maximize the stretch through your torso. Exhale to curve. Inhale, open up. Exhale and stretch. Inhale, open up. Exhale and stretch. Oh, it feels so good. Inhale, open up. And exhale and stretch. We'll do a few more of those and I'll just start talking. So this one is not only great for your shoulders, but also great for your balance, I'm sure you've noticed. And also great for your core. Because to stay balanced and to keep from wobbling, you really need to engage that whole corset of support all the way through your core. So this is a really good one for body awareness and strength, believe it or not. All right, we'll do one more on each side. Beautiful. Okay, so far my shoulders are feeling really good. I hope yours are too. The next one, we're gonna hold the strap in our left hand and take it overhead. So the strap is just dangling behind us, and then grab a hold of it with your right hand somewhere. And then we're just going to start to bring the strap, so bending at the elbow here. Goodness. There we are. Bring the strap, our hands closer to each other while holding onto the strap. There. Okay, and when you've gotten to that point where you're like, yep, I feel it, then hang out here. And you're going to notice a couple of things happening. The first is that possibly your head will want to fall forward. Pull it back, and in addition to that, take your throat and just kind of draw it back a little bit. Take your throat, draw it back a little bit. So we're all in line with our spine. And then the front of your shoulder on the arm that's down low, you're going to feel it. The front of the deltoid there. And those muscles, so the muscles in the front of the chest, front of the shoulders tend to be a little overtrained, whereas the muscles in the back of our body tend to be a little weak. So this is a way to stretch out the front body and just take some of that computer or knitting posture away. One more deep breath here. Close your eyes and really feel into it. And then relax, release. We'll switch sides. Opposite arm is up in the air. Grab a hold of that strap. Bend the elbow. Walk the hands towards one another. There we are. So just breathe here and let the magic happen. It feels uncomfortable, and that's normal. We don't want pain, but a little bit of discomfort is a good thing. This is how we grow. And sometimes it's just like, you know, when you have a rusty old bicycle, you know, you start pedaling it first thing in the spring and you think, gosh, I shouldn't have left that outside all winter. And it does not run well, and it's seizing and it's squealing and it's a pile of rust. So you put a little oil into it and you start riding it. And as you do, everything loosens up, everything becomes fluid. And that's what we're doing right now. We're assisting our bodies in the remembrance that they love to move. That's right. Okay, we'll relax that one. Good job. And take the strap behind your back and hold onto it with your palms facing down. Again, we're in those mountain feet, so everything is supported and strong. And we're just going to fold forward. Once you're at a comfortable place, you can bend your knees. That's totally fine. Then you're going to start to have an imaginary friend lifting your arms up for you. Only to where you can go where you're comfortable. Breathe here. It's a little awkward. If you have sinus issues, then maybe don't go quite so low. Okay, and then we'll release. Come on up. We're going to flip our hands so now the palms are facing upwards. Bend the knees, fold forward, and lift the arms up. If you had a big lunch, this probably won't feel super awesome, but think about how it feels in the shoulders versus everywhere else. Okay, bend the knees, squeeze up. Nice job. The last one is really fun. We're going to take our hands nice and wide on the strap. We're going to take the right arm up and over, followed by the left down and through. So we're just making a great big circle. We're grounded through our feet. We feel solid on the ground, and our core is engaged so that no matter what's happening in the upper body, we are controlled and we're protecting our spine. That feels so good. And then we'll go the other way, just flushing it all out. Nice and slow. We don't want anything to pop. Just breathe through it and enjoy your range of motion. Perfect. And that's it. A very quick shoulder opener series with the strap. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time. Namaste.